Join us now for Let's Just Talk with Kathryn Raaker.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker, and welcome to Let's Just Talk TV and Born Before 64. We are at a Family Tree Chiropractic and Wellness, and we are with Dr. Gregory Pitman in our first part of our show, and then we will be with Eileen Garden, who is a reflexologist and many other things. And so, but I want to talk a little bit about Dr. Gregory Pitman and his new book, The 10 Commandments of Ultimate Health. And I want you to get a close-up of that beautiful book. That's great. You know, Dr. Pitman, I want to welcome you to our show, and I am extremely impressed. You've been in the Cincinnati and regional area since 1986, and you moved the family tree practice from Westchester to its current Montgomery location in order to expand your services and become a comprehensive wellness facility. And you have 8 practitioners committed to ushering every patient to improved health. You're a graduate of the Palmer College and diplomat of the National Board of Homeopathic Examiners. You studied alternative medicine in the U.S. and Europe under internationally acclaimed teachers such as Dr. George Goodhart, Dr. Victor Frank, Dr. Alexander Wood, and Helman Schmill. I think I did that right, but I'm not sure. And you are now the author of the book, The 10 Commandments of Ultimate Health, which combines your education, experience, and belief in God's healing power to improve the lives of many. And you did the book with Lynn Thiesing?
Lynn Thiesing is correct, yes.
And tell me, Doctor, what drove you to become a wonderful chiropractic practitioner?
Well, it's in my book too, but I drove myself through my passing of my grandfather. My grandfather passed away when I was a junior in high school, and I loved him dearly, but he died in the hospital unexpectedly for no reason.
Wow.
He went in for leukemia, but then he had a blood transfusion and died. So I was kind of passionately angry about that.
Right.
For years and years of anger, because I thought he was killed unjustly right away like that, so fast.
Right. How old were you when it happened?
I was just 16.
16, very...
Oh yeah, it was my junior year of high school, so you got your mindset. I was going to become a architectural drawer, draw home plans and draw, and I was artistic. And then when that happened, I kind of changed my whole thought process.
Right.
It happened, totally changed. So it was a God thing that happened. I feel my grandfather passed away that quickly and drove me to anger to get through school quickly, get through that, to find out why he passed away. So I had such a passion driven from that experience to find out what caused my grandfather to get sick and to die so abruptly.
Abruptly. So in 1984, you went to chiropractic school?
I graduated from Palmer.
Graduated. And that's one of the top
yeah.
chiropractic schools in the country, right?
I feel it is. I feel it's one of my best chiropractic colleges in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends are wonderful chiropractors around the country. And even my son-in-law's brother is a chiropractor in Phoenix, Arizona.
That's great. I got my license in Arizona, too.
Did you?
Yes,
His name is Gunderman. His name is Bill Gunderman.
Okay.
Right. But, I think your practice is so beautiful. Let me just say that to you.
Thank you.
Because you gave me a wonderful tour of it, and I think we're going to do that again with the camera, because I think that would be nice. Mm-hmm. But what drove you to actually create your book?
Patience.
Patience?
Because they wanted to find out, you got to get the word out to people why you're healing these people and things are getting well for people, they're changing their lives, and they should write a book about it and how the principles are. And it's a book, it's not really publicized as against the world philosophy. Like Romans 12:2 is my motto for the book.
Right.
But don't conform to the pattern of the world, but renew your mind.
Right.
And you'll test God's good, perfect, and pleasing will is. And that's what the book was designed for, that to help make you think, change your ways, change your lifestyles, not with the worldly way, but what God's way should be.
That's right.
And that's the way it should be. And we try to find the cause of reason in the book, and that's finding the causes. So it makes people think about what the cause is, why they're sick.
Do you know, it amazes me that we don't take the time to sit down every day and pray. It amazes me that we don't take and do this.
And just relax. Yeah.
and just relax. Because when we were growing up, and I'm a little older than you are, I turned 72 just this month, but I remember the time when I had that daydreaming period, or whatever you call it, relaxation, and I wouldn't worry about things. And, I think that we need to start trusting in God a little bit more and stop using this so much,
Yep,
all the
exactly.
digital stuff that we have around us. And then it really helps our body, too, to heal, doesn't it?
It does. Because I think we just get distractions, so many distractions in this world we have, and we don't really time to focus on what's most important. That's why the first chapter in the book, the 10 Commandments, is prayer.
Right.
So you got to pray to get your body focused, get centered on what needs to be done, to listen to what God's trying to tell you, to get the courage to do what I say to do in the book. Because
Right.
the courage comes with that, and strength from His Word, and God helps supporting you through this. Because it's not easy to heal. It's a
Right.
very much of a roller coaster ride in life. It's not. You have these things that are just emotional, past traumas that come up, and sometimes people want to bury those and never want to talk about it. And that's where the illness is in the system.
Right, a lot of it's emotional.
Deep
right.
emotional, and
Deep
and spiritual
emotional.
too.
Right.
And that's really a deep level of stuff, and people manifest it through their physical body sometimes.
Right.
And that's why I try to teach them.
Well, you must have grown up with a beautiful family that was involved with your religion. Am I right?
No, not at all.
Not at all. This came
So surprise, surprise, right?
surprise.
Yeah.
Okay.
God turned my heart, accepted Christ after many years of struggling, and just through life with workaholic like I was, things like that, just things in the past, narcissism, all kind of narcissistic, just things, behavior was all gotten from what I was raised with. And didn't have a close relationship with my father, should have been, or my mom was narcissistic. So these things all came about through stress and trauma in my past. So, and some torture as a kid, as a 13-year-old with a medical doctor, all these things happen for a purpose to drive me to where I'm at now. I think that's where. So sometimes you get gravelly road, a tough road that could move you further.
Right.
And I think God makes you angry and frustrated sometimes to kick you to another direction so you don't just stay stuck.
Well, I have to share one thing with you. A few years ago, I was downtown Cincinnati, and somebody I wasn't happy with what things were happening within the retail end of it. And so I challenged the city, and a woman gave me, and I didn't know who it was that gave me this beautiful gift, and it was the Prayer of Jabez.
Oh, yeah.
And I read the book, and I went, and I've been a Catholic, a religion, whatever, for a long time. And I read the book and I went, I really need to change my life. So I started praying that prayer every day, every morning at 7:00. And I can't tell you how it's changed my life and the people that God brings me and the projects He brings me. And it's amazing. And sometimes we kind of give up, and you say that prayer again, or you say, God, please just help me. And you can be in despair one day, and then the next day, after that prayer and whatever, in that relaxation, all of a sudden it hits you. God's talking to you. He sends people to you, and you don't know that.
Well, it does, because part of the prayer is like your territory, spread your territory will be done for that. So you spread the word around that. So, keep you from pain and suffering, protect you from evil, all these, and bless me indeed, O Lord.
That's right. And it's such a simple prayer.
It's a simple prayer, but it's so
powerful.
Very powerful how it works.
Extremely
powerful. And God listens to that prayer.
And it's funny because I have to share this with you. A couple of days ago, I was worried about something, and the next morning I got these 2 phone calls, one from Israel and one from another friend of mine that wanted to introduce me and help my business. I thought, gee, Lord, you knocked me over at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't believe it. But what I love about what you're doing is you're healing people from inside out. Am I right?
That's correct. Yes.
And so who was your mentor? Can I ask you that, Dr. Pitman?
I think Dr. Wood was my mentor, kind of got me thinking the right direction that way. There's some mentors I had in the past that came across. I think people I just met, and some things I go to seminars and just grab the old doctors out of the office. They teach me one thing that works.
Right.
One thing that works, and that's not ever taught in schools. So you find that one technique, and then I just build from that. So you talk to 20, 30 old doctors like that, you got your old practice like balanced out, and then you make it work for yourself. And just the depth of these people that God put in my life off and on, Didn't understand why at the time. Things happen, but things happen for a purpose. I traveled to Europe. I traveled overseas. I never stayed in the United States to learn these things. I traveled with a group of doctors. I was trained by a dentist and medical doctor from Germany.
Wonderful.
That's Dr. Helmut Schimmel. That was one in the book. He's the one that trained me back, geez, in the early 80s it was.
Wow.
So I traveled over the world to see him and travel, to see how these Dr. Morell and all these other doctor practitioners that made devices, made things back. So the whole philosophy is different. Meeting the doctors from Trinidad and all over the world, you got their healing ideas and different philosophies of different thought processes.
Right.
Other than we're in this world today, we're stuck in our rut. Because America, that's the sickest country in the whole world.
I know.
We pay the highest healthcare premiums. And we take 60% of the prescription drugs in the world.
Right.
We're one of the smallest countries in the world. You think about it. We take the highest amount of prescriptions. There's something really wrong with that scenario. Why are we the sickest country? We have all the richness. We have all the blessings, was given to us, and yet we're the sickest country. Most illness.
Well, that's what I found out when we actually, when we come back from a break. I'm going to share some things with you. What I found out by going overseas and changing my life and then bringing it back to here.
Good.
And we'll be right back on Kathryn Raaker's Let's Just Talk with Dr. Greg Pitman and his new book, Ultimate Health, The 10 Commandments of Ultimate Health.
Yes.
What's your website, Doctor?
Oh, I can remember what it is. I don't remember.
Okay, that's all right. We'll put it in there.
It's in the book.
Okay, we'll put it in there. But the name of your practice is?
Family Tree Chiropractic and Wellness.
Okay, we'll be right back after these messages.
Thank you.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you're beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Next.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start.
That's why we're here. We're free, handsome,
I think we're breathtaking.
and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
We're back on Let's Just Talk TV and Born Before 64, and we're at the Family Tree Chiropractic Wellness Center.
Yes.
Am I right? And we're with Dr. Greg Pitman, and we're talking about his life, his practice, and his new book, which is called The 10 Commandments of Ultimate Health. And it's really important, I think, for people to understand what your practice is all about and how you practice. And talk to us a little bit about your practitioners, and then we'll talk about the commandments. Okay?
That sounds good.
Okay?
Well, the main purpose of the book was written just to find the cause of reason why people gets ill or get sick in America.
Right.
So the book was written to make people think how to take care of those problems and find the cause of reasons. You find the cause of reasons, and you can actually help correct it
Right.
with the 10 Commandments, okay? And then you learn how to do those, and that protects you from those I call in the book the morbific stimuli chapter, which is the chapter where it causes disease and illness in people.
Right. And, a lot of, I was one of the first, probably because of antibiotics coming into our lives, and my uncle was a regular traditional internal medicine, as anesthesiologist, actually. But pills were a big deal, or antibiotics back in the early 50s and 60s. It got really progressively, they would give you penicillin for everything. Yeah. So unfortunately, I'm allergic to a lot of drugs. Mm-hmm. So I started becoming more natural, holistic in thinking, and especially going overseas that we talked about. Yeah. So I think because you trained overseas and you met so many different people, right, and they were your mentors, you could open your mind to it. Mm-hmm. And if I remember correctly, chiropractic, if I remember correctly about this years ago, they thought they were kind of quacks, and not true at all. Yeah. Actually, a chiropractor that took care of me back in the late 60s, actually healed me. Mm-hmm. And I'd been in a car wreck, a lot of different things that happened, and nobody seemed to care. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They just wanted to throw pills at you. And so that's the reason why I became a real believer in chiropractic care.
That's great, because why chiropractic works so well, because you're actually treating the nervous system.
That's right.
So you hear the bones crack or crunch sometimes. What it does, it's just the noise it makes. But inside that spinal column in the nervous system is the neurological system, central nervous system, the autonomic system.
Right.
So right now we're talking, use for 5% of our brain just to talk and communicate.
Wow.
95% runs our body. So we're not even tapped into that. We have no idea inside of our system, that 95%, what's it doing? What's making your heart beat right now? What's making your stomach digest the food you just eaten? How's that pH and that balance so perfectly done in the body? How's that work? Because you don't know how to tap into that. You have no idea, because it works automatically, You don't have to think about it. You think about your heart beating every day, you stop thinking, you'd be dead, right? So you couldn't have to think about it. It's automatically working all the time. So as a practice, we tap into that. This is why we tap into that autonomic system. So 90+% chance we've got a good idea what's going on with your body.
Right.
Besides what you consciously think you might have.
So, doctor, I really, we don't realize how much of a miracle our body really is, do we? It's a machine as well. It's a machine that constantly works. Mm-hmm. And if there's a clog somewhere, we find out. I had a lot of gastric problems in my early age, gallbladder at 24, pancreatitis a few years later because of stress. Oh, yeah. So all these different things started happening to me. And so I wanted to become attuned to my body. Yeah. And I think that's not what we do. We want to pop a pill. We want to lose weight. We want to do this. We want to do that. And we don't think about the other parts that we really need to be concentrating on. So when you first wrote the book, what was the first thing that you thought about, the first chapter?
The first chapter of the prayer chapter?
Yes.
Okay. I've just felt, because when it comes to anything I've done in my life, prayer always has to be first, or ask God what to do, or how to journal, Lord, what do you want me to teach me, because that's the only way I get my mind focused and straight. Otherwise, distractions in life get you away from that. And that's where you need your quiet time, or you can talk to God anytime you want to. It's 24/7. There's no limit on this. So the enemy wants to take us away from those things in life, try to distract us. Right. And I think when you get the prayer and you know who designed your body, God created, the Holy Spirit's inside of you. Right. Literally inside of you, making you work.
Right.
How do you think the brain works?
That's true.
I mean, the nervous system how does that work? It's a miracle how we work. Right. I mean, if your brain stops, you don't work anymore, do you? Your body just stops and you just disappear, and your body's just matter. Right. So that spirit's inside, and we kind of measure that spirit through our nutritional stuff we do. We measure that spirit inside the Holy Spirit, what's going on in there, what's blocking it, what's finding that blockage. It could be a whiplash, a car accident, for example. Neck goes out, blocks the nerve interference, and you feel just so bad. You feel apathetic, tired, moody. All this stuff can happen to you because you're in pain. Right. And what do people do? Opiates. They take opiate or medication to kill pain all the time. Mm-hmm. 5 people a day die on opiate medication. I know. It's epidemic. It's horrible. People need help to understand there's other ways of removing pain. On the top of the list, chiropractic and for Medicare and welfare now, welfare patients to be treated. Right. Chiropractic's the top of the list for opiate addicted people, opiate addiction or drug addicted people. Chiropractic's top of the list now. Wow. Because chiropractic takes people out of pain so they don't have to get beyond the drug. So we start with chiropractic first. get the people out of pain so they don't have to take so much medication. You can understand, I mean, medicine is very important, okay? It's not like you have to respect medicine because you need things to be taken for pain killing. You need stuff for like infection, severe infection, knock it down. But let's look, how'd you get sick to start with, how'd that happen? And try to change that if you can, okay?
Right.
Maybe more cautious of what you're eating and all the stuff we put in the book, basically. But these things have to be looked at a deeper level for people. This is so important.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's, to me, that's kind of really important, you know, because I found out, like I said, when I ended up having pancreatitis and all those little things happened,
yes.
I started finding out what foods triggered it, what, if any, drinking triggered it, because I didn't drink a lot, but I found out what my body could assimilate,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And what I could digest.
Yes.
And so I think that if we understand that principle, understand what you're bringing into your body first, that helps a lot too. I mean,
Well, it does because you know your body.
you know your body.
And I think how also you mentioned about the antibiotic use and stuff
Right.
like that. There's a respect for that. You have a little bit of antibiotic use is fine, but you can't continue to take those.
Right.
The thing you abuse gets bad that way. You can't keep doing something over aggressively that way because I think that leads to food allergies and food problems.
Right.
And absorption difficulties too because you put that mold inside of you, which is a fungus based. The antibiotic is a mold.
Fungus.
So it kind of irritates the gut and your body triggers a chemical, naturally produces yeast itself to help grab that chemical and toxin. So you get over, that's why you get the yeast infections because your body's trying to naturally grab that yeast. That's why you can never correct yeast sometimes, keeps coming back. Knock
Right.
it down, but then it doesn't knock it down because you have chemical and heavy metals in your body that could be blocking that, making your body trying to fight itself, protect itself. Because the body's trying to homeostatically help balance all the time. And your body creates this stuff to help grab it, to hold on to it. But if you keep doing the bad things, it gets overwhelming, and then it becomes a problem itself. But we always treat symptoms. We can't treat the symptom. We got to get the cause of reason removed, find out what that is. If you have food allergies, like possibly you could have,
Garlic is one of them.
because your brain has got a bad negative signal from down here. What happened? Your other brain's down here, so you keep sending signals. The brain gets confused, like, well, why is that happening down there? What's going on? So once you get the brain changed, the brain changes your gut then eventually too, and vice versa.
Really? Do you think I can get rid of that garlic allergy?
Oh, sure. We do it all the time here at the office.
You
It's
do?
permanent elimination of stuff we do. We treat spices. We treat vitamins and minerals and stuff in the office because that's what the body's confused on. So our food has been altered over the 50, 60-year period of time. It's been altered through chemicals, from soil erosion, soil depletion of minerals and stuff. And this is what has changed our bodies to help absorb this food. It doesn't look like food like it used to. So your brain has to change to help absorb that food like it is now. So what our treatments do is change your brain to absorb your environment at this time and get your body to change and absorb that nutrition you need in your diet. To absorb the carrots and the celery and the lettuce and anything that's been abnormal, we treat that to get that to balance so the body can start absorbing it better. And there's people with severe conditions have been through here, and it's totally changed their lives.
That's really a hope for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are certain things that I just can't digest at all.
Yeah.
And that happens to be one of them. Very bad one
Yeah.
for me. So, and on that note, we need to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Dr. Greg Pitman, his new book, The 10 Commandments of Ultimate Health, and the Family Tree Chiropractic and Wellness. We'll be right back.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now before it's too late.
I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
It's always been a part of me to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. Whether on my block or around the world. My name is First Lieutenant King, and I move toward the sounds of those who are in need of help.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
We're back with Dr. Greg Pitman, and we need to talk about the 10 Commandments, because if we don't talk about those, you'll have to leave and we won't have them.
That's
so
right.
How about that? So can you do that for me, Doc?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll do that because the 10 Commandments were designed to help protect you from something in the book called the morbific stimuli chapter.
Okay.
Which are things we have to learn about: radiation, chemicals, metals, stress, viruses, bacteria, funguses. So those are the bad things in the world, okay, going on that we just don't maybe realize.
Right.
So the 10 Commandments is how do you get a handle on those bad things? Because you know what they are, how do you get rid of them, how do you protect yourself? The 10 Commandments were given in that order. The first 4 commandments, prayer, all this, water, eat living food, all this, to sleep, eat living food, are 4 things you do on your own.
Right.
Okay? Nothing I have to tell you to do. No one has to tell you to do. 4 basic, that's why I put the 4 things in the book here, because it's all listed. The prayer, the water, the sleep, and the living food, because you can do it on your own. You don't have to do it with me.
Right.
It's something you learn. So this Force 4, like Lynn, you met my co-author earlier, she did a thing in her school that they said, let's just do a challenge of the 10 Commandments. Let's do the first 4 commandments and see how your life changes.
Okay.
They did that. The principal stopped off all his medication, got off medication. They communicated better. They had better relationships. It helped save this lady's marriage and the teachers. All this came about because the community happened all of a sudden, because they cared about each other all of a sudden. Just those first 4 commandments.
Right.
Amazing. And
Amazing,
the natural
definitely.
food was in the refrigerator, not Diet Cola, not all this junk and processed food in the refrigerator. Is all healthy food. They couldn't believe it. And their whole relationship changed in that school, and they couldn't believe how much people just related better and had better health. And that's the secret to longevity, is having relationships and love. Right. Is the biggest thing. That's what it's all about. And we don't have that today. We're taken away from stuff all the time. With TV and radio and things, we're trying to change our direction of stuff, and that helps us keep our focus. And then the rest of the 10 Commandments: chiropractic care, exercise, purification, natural supplementation, coping with stress, and then you open yourself up for spiritual emotional healing. So you need to actually purify your body, clean your system out. I have an example of one lady who read the book 3 times. She lost 55 pounds.
Wow.
I didn't recognize her when she came into the office. She came in one time, like months prior to that. I'd never seen her for a little while. She'd come back and, I just read your book 3 times and finally learned how to do this. And by golly, she lost 55 pounds and looked great. I don't know who she was. I go, who are you, a new lady here? But I think that when you get through the 10 Commandments, you can open yourself up. Maybe that forgiveness can finally happen, to that anger toward someone who may rape the person in the past, or abuse somebody, or had abused yourself through lust or pornography. All these things we deal with in this practice with things. Can you forgive that person and move on, and put the past behind us? And that's the hardest thing for people, because in our little brains up here, we think about all the bad stuff, not all the good stuff all the time. And we need this help, the power of this, to get physically stronger inside to handle these spiritual challenges that come about. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where we work as a practice. All my practitioners together here, they're geared to help relieve the emotional stress, the spiritual stressors sometimes. With our care, we work as a team to help get that healing process. So we just don't talk about things sometimes. We actually treat the body, and then that heals the system. And then they can start talking fruits of the Spirit can come in, love, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control comes in the body, and they heal inside. And they can let this finally happen and feel that presence of God in them, at this point.
And that makes you a better person, a healthier person, and a more loving person.
And people see that around you. That's the godly thing. That's what people want to see in a Christian, is godly love, and they got to feel good enough, They got to feel good to represent that love and spread it to other people in the world.
Right.
That's the most amazing gift of the book.
And you know what? Where can people buy the book?
Here at the office for now. We're selling out of the office. It's kind of word of mouth. We get people here. We don't really try to advertise this stuff because the world wouldn't understand that at all. Okay. If I put this out, like stuff we do, they think, oh, we're kind of weird or different. But really, this is where traditional medicine is coming to hold. This is where it's going to be in the future. I can see this happening. People are learning about these things, starting to understand, asking questions now. Finally, they want to find the cause. They're tired of being sick. They're tired of people dying of no reason, you know. And they want to feel better in life, have a better quality of life. When you learn these, you have a better quality of life, you know.
Right.
Why have a long life and you feel like crap? Okay, you feel horrible.
True. That's
Why don't
true.
you want you to live a better quality of life because you'll be a better tool? Why are you laying in bed do nothing where you have be up moving around talking like you're doing and help spread the word to people?
That's right.
Help lead people to Christ. Help lead people to a journey that, you know, is better. You lay in bed, you can't lead people to Christ sometimes. You got to get out there and get the word out, right?
That's right.
So you keep your energy up. This helps keep your tools. This is an office that comes in and people come like a rest haven, a sanctuary. They say this is such a peaceful place to come and get healing. I feel good to come here. They just want to come here and just hang out. They just come and talk. Gets me behind sometimes a little bit, but they like to hang out and have fun. But it's kind of a family practice, and God gave me that name back in college, a family tree chiropractic. Don't use your name. It's not about me. It's about God's people.
Right.
That's the whole purpose of the book is written.
I can't thank you enough for joining us today.
You're welcome.
It's been
I really
an
love being here.
honor to be here, an honor to understand how you've created a real loving relationship with your patients and also your staff members. And through the book, you're bringing more to other people, which is really important.
Well,
Can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today on Let's Just Talk TV in Born Before 64.